Hello everyone and welcome to DrinkNectar.com. I'm your host, Josh Wade, and this is the internet's place to explore the 5 senses of coffee and wine. Tonight I am super excited. I think I say that a lot, but I'm excited because I get to review 2 amazing new releases from wineries here in Spokane, Washington. These are really actually both very epic releases for these wineries, and I've recently just got done visiting with both of them. So I'm excited to be able to help them not only spread the word about the release, but to be able to have a first taste, if you will, of these wines. First one we have is the Latah Creek Monarch Red. This is a 50% Zinfandel, 25% Cab, and 25% Syrah blend, so predominantly Zin. Not a lot of Zin grown in the state of Washington, and not a lot of Zin out there, just for consumption in the state. So excited to see what this brings. Cool thing about this is the first departure of the standard label for Latah Creek in the last 27, 28 years. And the label artist is Edward W. Gilmore, a very amazing artist out here in Spokane, Washington. I'll put all the information in the text how you can get a hold of his art. But really excited. So if you look at the color of this, it's very purple. It's kind of a dark purple or a plum color. Has some good translucence, goes out to the edges of like a translucent garnet color, and it is about I would say 80% opaque. Okay, so the nose on this one is a little tight. I get some vanilla and I get some spice. I was expecting a little more spice with the Zin on there, but I do get some vanilla and a little bit of red fruit. Can't quite pick out what fruit it is, but a little bit of red fruit. But it's got a decent, pleasing smell. It's just not overly bombastic or over the top or anything. So let's give it a sip. All right, so you see a smile on my face. It's very pleasing. It's a great wine. Has a lot of Zinfandel characteristics in there. It's not bold and spicy like I expected it to be. It actually has a lot more subdued tone to it. Good acid on the back end, only about 12.5% alcohol. Has some decent acid on the back end, and the tannin structure is really well balanced. So overall, the wine is well balanced. It's a good, well-made wine. I'm not exactly sure of the price point, but I believe it's going to be like in the $25 range. If I'm wrong, I will correct it in the text, of course. But overall, very well-made wine. I'm pleased to see something like this coming out of Latah Creek. Very impressed from their previous Vinosity, as well as their Petit Verdot and some other reds that they have. And I know they're going to be using this label to brand the new release of Monarch series of wines that's going to be coming out, focusing on different red varietals out there. So great work, Mike Conway out there at Latah Creek. Been in the business, I think probably one of the first 20 wineries in the state. So moves us on to actually the next one, which is one of the younger wineries in the city of Spokane. I think they were the 13th winery out of our current 17 that we have. Had their first vintage release in 2007 with a 2005 vintage. This is Nodland Cellars, another very cool artistic label. And what excites me about this label is this is their 06 Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon that they had from McClellan Vineyards in Walla Walla. This is somewhere around 90% Cabernet, 95% Cabernet. I'll put the exact details in the text. But it's a very Cabernet-forward blend with a little bit of Merlot and maybe a % of Petit Verdot in there. The history of this particular cab and why this winery came out with this, because typically Nodland Cellars only releases 1 red wine per year, and it's a very traditional Bordeaux-style blend. But when they were putting together the blend for their 06 cab, this McClellan cab, or the 06 blend, the McClellan cab was so over the top and predominant that any blend, any percentages they did with it seemed to just be so forward with Cabernet. And so they knew they had something special on the Cabernet side. So they held back this wine for an extra year. So this is the 06. And now they're releasing it just now, 2 years in oak, 1 year in bottle, coming out now. So the color, it actually has some of that dark brown, like that brownish tawny port color in there. It is about 90% opaque, barely any translucence in there. Goes out to some subdued brownish red tones towards the edge. So let's give it a sniff. Wow, very big and still a very young wine. This wine you could tell just from the aroma, could lay down for several more years. Has so much happening in the nose. You get some bright cherry and some spice, some cracked pepper in there. Amazing aroma coming off of this. Really predominant, just the fruit and the spice in there, but it's bold in your face. So let's give it a sip. Wow. Big, bold Cabernet. A very memorable wine. I believe they're going to be releasing this for $45, $38 if you're in their wine club, or if you show up during the night of the release. Amazing structure, playing around even still in the mouth. You've got that subtle, just tinge of oak and the earthiness in there. The spice is beautiful. Nothing that's just going to throw your mouth off. Amazing amount of acid. A little bit of heat. A little bit of hotness coming through on the alcohol. The fruit flavors are divine. Extremely well-made wine. One of the better wines. I say this on record here. This is one of the better wines, if not the best wine that I've had made in Spokane. Excellent job, Tracy and Tim. You have to come out and get this wine if there's going to be any available, because only 40 cases were made. Anyway, phenomenal wines, amazing wines coming out of Spokane. You need to stay tuned here at DrinkNectar.com and also DrinkNectar on Facebook for all the events that are coming in Spokane, as well as across the state in Washington. I team up with a lot of Washington wine bloggers to stay in the know of everything that's coming up. So definitely follow on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and remember, life is always meant to be enjoyed with friends. So open up a bottle of either of these two wines and you will not be disappointed, and drink happy.